Welcome to Coffee, Calm and Connection Bite Size, where we deliver key takeaways from our full interviews on current topics from mental health experts.
You know, I think one of the key ingredients in burnout is a sense of depletion. And I know what that word is, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to the dictionary and just get a definition of it. And I love the definition that I found. Depletion is to deprive of something essential to existence or potency. And I think that what happens when we start to feel depleted, I think that's where we start to, there's this cumulative snowball effect of more exhaustion, more overwhelmed. We start to get more checked out. We feel we are running on empty, and we keep running. We keep moving, often frantically cramming in more and more and more, and not feeling better for it. And then we start taking shortcuts. And that's where we start with more caffeine. We start with more food. We start with more alcohol. We self-medicate. The signs are there. The signs are often there. And when I talk to people about burnout, they often say to me, we knew, you know, if we look back, we can see this was coming. And what did we do? We just pushed harder. And I think this is the thing, you know, burnout, I will distinguish between burnout and depression in a moment, but they can actually look very similar, because when you are chronically depleted of that something essential to existence, and this is the thing, I think everybody has to define what that is for them. I know for me, I think that's that sense of, I think for me, it's the sense of joy. It's the sense of laughter. It's the sense of lightness. When I start getting so serious about everything, that's for me a warning sign that I'm moving towards depletion. And then I do think that people start in a way trying to self-soothe. Because there's different levels in consciousness. There's this ongoing pressure to keep doing whatever it is that we've set ourselves to do. And in your case, you know, that experience of the running is a wonderful thing. And you're doing that probably for a whole host of different reasons. But for you to have accomplished that will give you such, I imagine, an amazing sense of achievement. So it is a pathway to joy. But I think it's something about the route and the journey that the way that we get there. And this is where I think we've got to be careful with how burnout, or the road to burnout, can also take us to depression. So burnout and depression can in fact look very similar. Both can manifest through changes in sleep, changes in eating patterns, through loss of interest in things that used to give us pleasure. Burnout can generate feelings of hopelessness, increased irritability. But again, I think to my mind, there are two key features in burnout. And one is when we've got there, because here's the thing, it's important to realize that burnout, it's the train that has been traveling, but we've now hit burnout station. And so burnout it's a slow incremental increase in exhaustion. And then the exhaustion starts to kick off other features, of which one is feeling, as I said earlier, that we no longer like what we do. We might start to feel detached, more and more detached from whatever it was that once gave us a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment, something that we really enjoyed. It might be your running, it might be your job, it might be your family. And we start to ask, is this it? So it's often accompanied by a sense of disillusionment. And so I think it's important for us to distinguish the nature of the exhaustion that helps discern whether this is burnout or whether this is depression. And Judy Klipkin, she distinguishes, she says depression is a feeling of being tired of life, whereas burnout is a feeling of being tired from life. And by this, she means it's how we live our lives, not life itself, that causes us to become burned out. And often in depression, we feel it is life itself that is contributing to the actual illness. Again, a way to distinguish burnout and depression is depression, for example, often involves suicidal thoughts. It's that experience of really just not wanting to be here anymore. It's that feeling of just make it stop. And I want everything to stop and I don't want to be here. Now, burnout, and this is why burnout is also dangerous. Burnout can progress us to that, but it's unusual that burnout starts like that.